Hello everyone, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening. We are from Group 4 and today we are going to present our research project, Accounting Information System in Chandra Karya Aluminum. So this project is all about understanding how a small business manage its finance and how it compared to proper accounting theories. This group is consists 4 people, Mutia, Intan, Permata, Muchtada Muthohari, Imam Azra, and Muhammad Raihan Ramadhan. So uh, we're gonna discuss the chapter 1 introduction that will be handled by Mutia. So Mutia, time is yours.
Okay, the chapter 1 is about the introduction. So before we start about this study, we have to know the background why we study its accounting theory in MSME. So MSME have an important role in the Indonesia economy. It's contributing 61% of GDP and absorbing 96.9% of the workforce. However, in practice, many MSMEs are still unable to record and report finance properly due to the limited knowledge, human resource, and also technology. Generally, recording is still manual and mix personal finance with business so that financial information becomes inaccurate and makes it difficult to make decisions. In accounting theories, such as economic entity theory, the separations of personal and business finance is very important to maintain the objectivity of financial statement. So this research takes a case study on MSME in Padang, namely Chandra Karya Aluminum, which still uses simple financial records that limited to daily cash in and cash out books. This research objective is to analyze the gap between financial practices and accounting theory and provide the recommendations for improvement that are in accordance with the condition of MSMEs. Next. Why we use Chandra Karya Aluminum as the subject? First, the Chandra Karya Aluminum still uses manual bookkeeping due to limited resources and understanding of accounting. It is reflecting the general condition of MSMEs. And the second is located in Padang, facilitates direct observations and interviews with the owners. And then the third, this research is expected to help improve the quality of financial records and encourage the implementations of formal accounting standards at Chandra Karya Aluminum. So we make the problem formulations of this research. First, has Chandra Karya Aluminum prepared financial statement on a regular basis? Then the second, what is the quality of the financial statement produced, if any? And then the third, what are the main challenges faced in the process of recording and reporting business finance? And the fourth is to what extent is the application of accounting theory in the practice of recording and preparing Chandra Karya Aluminum's financial statements? And then the last is what kind of financial information is needed by business owners to support business decision making? And then we make the research focus and objectives. So this research and study focus on analyzing the financial recording and reporting practices at Chandra Karya Aluminum and evaluating their alignment with accounting theories and standards. It also explores the owner's need for financial information in decision making, cash flow management, capital planning, and also performance evaluations. So this research aims to first to identify the availability and form of financial statement used. Then the second, evaluate the quality of manual bookkeeping methods. And then the third, identify key challenges in recording and preparing financial reporting. And then the fourth is assess compliance with the accounting principles. And then the last, provide the practical improvement suggestions suitable for MSME's conditions. So this research seeks to provide both academic insights and practical contributions to enhance financial management and to promote the understanding and applications of standardized accounting in MSMEs, especially in Chandra Karya Aluminum. We make the supporting literature review for this research. For the first, we can see in this table, for the first literature review is from the Hadi Rumambi et al. The title is How to Prepare MSME's Financial Records. The research goal is to describe MSME's financial reporting preparations. So the conclusion of this research is MSME's reports differ by business model, but it still refers to accounting standard. Focus should be on basic report. And then the second literature we make from the Bagas Arya Septian and et al. It is about the utilization of bookkeeping application to as manual bookkeeping solutions on TVIGM. It is highlight manual apply accounting in their business. With the conclusion of this research, MS manual bookkeeping has many weakness compared to digital, prone to error and delays. And then the literature review from Wastam Wahyu Hidayat and al. It is the assistance simple financial bookkeeping for culinary MSMEs in front of TMPN Kalibata in Duren 3 Village, Pancoran, South Jakarta. With the conclusions is the MSMEs need simple bookkeeping to improve financial reliability and meet external needs. Then the last research is from the Meki Salvia. It is the implementation of accounting in MSMEs. But the conclusion is MSMEs still lack awareness of accounting benefits, limiting financial report use. And then for the next chapter will be presented by the Ramadan. Ramadan, time is yours.
Thank you for Mutia and Permata for your clear explanation about the chapter 1. So we are going to the chapter 2 about the methodology. In the first subtopics of the methodology, we're going to talk about the research design. This study adopts a qualitative descriptive approach, employing a single case study design aimed at deeply exploring and understanding the accounting practices and financial reporting mechanism within a selected MSME, namely Chandra Karya Aluminum. The case study method is particularly appropriate for investigating contemporary phenomena within the real-life context, especially when the boundaries between the phenomenon and the context are not clearly evident. The qualitative design is utilized to capture complex and context-rich data, offering insight into the gap between the formal accounting principles and the practical bookkeeping approaches employed by MSMEs. This framework allows for a comprehensive interpretation of data drawing from real-world conditions to formulate recommendations that are not only theoretically grounded but also practically applicable. Next. So this is the diagram of the research process. We have several stages in here. For the first, we start and also we are continuing with the problem identifications. The third one, we're going to continue with initial literature review that already explained by Mutia, and data collection by interview. And after that, we're going to analyze data and create the interpretations. And we are going to the conclusion and recommendation. And the last one, we're going to create the report of this research program. Next. So this is the second subtopic for this chapter. It's about the research model. The analytical model of this research is based on the gap analysis framework, which just juxtaposes actual accounting practices observed in the MSME against fundamental accounting principles. Core accounting theories such as the economic entity principle that already explained by Mutia underscore the separation between business and personal finances, serving as a foundation for transparent and objective financial reporting. So examining essential elements ranging from the bookkeeping methods and documentation practices to internal control structures and decision-making processes. This model enables the identifications of discrepancies that hinder accurate financial governance. The findings are then interpreted to formulate pragmatic and scalable recommendations for financial record keeping improvement in the MSME context. Next. So the next topic, we're going to talk about the data collection planning. So in here, we're going to talk about the source data. So primary data serve as the cornerstone of the study. The data was collected directly from the business owner of the Chandra Karya Aluminum through a structured face-to-face interview, enabling the researcher to gain first-hand insight into operational, financial, and managerial aspect of enterprise. And after that, we're gonna talk about the interview structure and implementations. The principal method of data collection employed was in-depth, semi-structured interviews, which is allowed for both consistency in core questions and flexibility in exploring terms. Prior to conducting the interviews, an interview protocol was meticulously developed based on the key terms derived from accounting theory and MSME financial management literature. Next. So this is the table about the question that really needed and related to the required data that we're gonna collect from the Chandra Karya Aluminum. For the required data for MSME profile, we have a several questions like owner's name, when was it founded, what industry are you in, number of employees from of the business, business workflow, and also our profit separate. And after that, we're gonna talk the equity. There's who provide capital. The third one is there an obligation to report the business to the capital owner? And the fourth one is, are there any financial report or financial record? And the last one, if so, how it's recorded? And the third one, we're gonna talk about the asset. In asset also, there are several questions like what types of asset are owned? How do you acquire large asset? Is there a record, and is the age measured for depreciations? How is the value recorded? Are there any asset that have been released? And also the last one is, how is inventory recorded and when is inventory recorded? Next. And we also have the liability related question. It's, are there any current liabilities? It could be capital, trade debt, and another else. No, or in the past. And the second one, if so, where did it come from and for what, and how long did it take? And the last one, is there any registration and proof of the loan? And the next required data is about revenue, and the related question is, what are the types of income? Are there other businesses beside printing? When are sales recorded? Is there an account receivable system? How much is the markup calculated? And business workflow. And the important question also, are profits separated? It's because related to entity theory. Next. And this is, I think, the last one. It's about the expense. So there are three related questions. The first is, what types of payment are made which are and are not routine? And the second one, are there credit purchases? And the last one, what is the payroll system like? Next. I think that's all for me. The next chapter will be present by Ari. For Ari, time is yours.
Okay, now we move to the core part of our research, chapter 3 results. So in this section, we will explain to main part, finding, and the data analysis and interpretation. So we interviewed the business owner directly at his store, Chandra Karya Aluminum, and this is what we found. The business is called Chandra Karya Aluminum. It was founded in 2012 by Mr. Alfi Chandra. It is MSME that produce aluminum furniture like wardrobe, rack, cabinet, and doors, and etc. The business is located in Padang, West Sumatra, and has only 2 employees. And the business still uses manual bookkeeping system. All transactions are written down by hand in a book. So from the Raihan explanation, after we listed the question, here are some important details we gather from our interview. So the initial capital was around 40 million, fully funded by the owner personal saving. There's no official record of additional capital owner. The capital owner withdrawals or return earning. And yeah, for the asset like a cargo truck and aluminum cutter are recorded at the purchase price, but there is no depreciation recorded. And for their liability, only happen when there is a big project. The owners borrow material from supplier and pays them back after the project is paid, but this done informally with no written agreement. And for the revenue is recorded when the customer pay using a system that requires a 50 down payment before work start. And yeah. And for the expenses like rent, employees' salaries, electricity, and material are paid regularly. Employees are paid weekly with bonuses for large project. Yeah, so from the information we collected, we gain a clear picture of how this business operates. So Chandra Karya Aluminum was created after only previous business failed. He decided to start fresh in 2012 using his own saving as capital to rent a shop and buy tools and raw material. In the early years, the business was successful enough to open a second branch in Lubuk Minturun, an area with high demand. However, the branch later closed because of irresponsible staff and poor investment decision that didn't bring enough return. Now, the owner only focuses on the main store. He keep daily financial record manually using notebook. But since both he and his employees keep separate notes, there is no centralized financial system, which lead to inconsistent and incomplete data. All assets are recorded at historical cost, but there is no depreciation recorded, which means they don't know the current value of their equipment. Damage or thrown away assets also aren't documented. Inventory is not tracked, so it's difficult to know what is in stock or what's already sold. For the revenue, uh, sales are only recorded when payment is received. The business allow partial payment of 15% deposit first, then the rest after delivery. The selling price is based on the material cost plus a small markup, but because the profit are not separated from the personal fund, the business can clearly see how much it's really earning. And yeah, expenses are recorded and there is a system to pay employees and bills regularly while the business doesn't make accurate purchases. It sometimes get raw material on the pay later basis from supplier again with no written record. Wait. Yeah, so this the Chandra Karya Aluminum workflow. So customer place an order either individual or project based. The owner creates a manual sketch to plan the design and material using hand design. He confirmed the design with the client. Once approved, the production begins. And after delivery, the remaining payment is collected. This full process is run manually with no digital system in places. So that's all from me. The next chapter will be handled by my friend Imam too. Imam, time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Muchtada Muthohari. Now, the chapter 4 is chapter discussion. This chapter is aimed to evaluate the extent to which financial recording and reporting practices that have been carried out by Chandra Karya Aluminum are in accordance with accounting principles and standard. The analysis focuses on the five main elements of accounting, namely equity, asset, liabilities, income, and expense. Each element is discussed systematically in the table by linking the actual condition that occur at Chandra Karya Aluminum with the relevant formal accounting standard and theories. Next. Next, sorry. Okay, the first accounting element is equity. We find that CKA used initial capital of 40 million from the owner personal fund with no recording of additional capital, personal withdrawal or return earning. A profit are considered personal property and there is no periodic reporting or tracking of capital charge. This is according to the economic entity that according to the theory that economic entity and company should be separated from the owner to maintain objectivity and reliability information. However, in the CKI practice, it reflects the proprietary theory, where the owner and business are considered one entity. This is contrary to the reporting objective in SFC number 1 and number X, which emphasizes the importance of relevant financial information for internal research in decision making, which favorable more the separation between entity and the owner. The next accounting element is asset. Chandra Karya Aluminum uses its initial capital to buy fixed asset, but doesn't measure how much depreciation it has. These assets are used for the operational needs of CKA that have a future such profit. Assets are only ever replaced when the goods are damaged. Under the IASB, assets are defined as Issues that are controlled by entity. Transactions occur in the past and the future economic benefits. In addition, assets must be recorded separately between entity and owner. Next. The third one is liabilities. In Chandra Karya Aluminum, it holds short-term liabilities in the form of interest-free loans from the supplier, primarily used for procuring raw material during large-scale projects. In the accounting theory, it according to the IASB conceptual framework, a liability is a present obligation of an entity arising from the past event, the settlement of which is expected to result in outflow of resource embodying economic benefit. In the revenue, Chandra Karya Aluminum funding is it earns income from the operation of customer or making project orders of aluminum goods, such as recorded when down payment has been made, which is minimum cover 50% of the goods price, and the customer will pay the rest after the goods are complete and discharged. In accounting theory, according to the ISB, revenue is the gross inflow of economic benefit during the period as arising of the cost of ordinary activity of an entity. Revenue is an accomplishment obtained from effort expense. The revenue is usually associated with making concepts. Revenue is recognized when the company has fulfilled its obligation in moving goods or providing service to customer. Next. The last accounting element is expense. In Chandra Karya Aluminum, the business expense, there is routine financial carried out by business in the form of employee salary, electricity cost, water cost, rent, gas, raw material, and inventory supplies. The paycheck is given to the employee every week, and there will be a bonus expected for larger project order. According to FASB, expenses are decreased in the economic benefits during the accounting period in the form of outflow or depletion of asset or increase of liabilities that result in decreased equity. Expense recognized when it's probable that any future benefit associated with the item will flow out to or from the entity, and the item has a cost or value that can be measured with the liability. Next. So the discussion is based on the analysis of the five main accounting elements described in the table, it can be concluded that the financial recording practice at Chandra Karya Aluminum are still simple and do not fully refer to generally accepted financial accounting standards. The absence of separation between the owner, financial finance, and personal finance and business finance according asset without depreciation and the use of manual system in recording debts and expense indicate that CKA operate with the cash or cash approach and are informal in nature. However, some practices such as recognizing revenue after advance payment and recording routine expense show a basic understanding of the matching principle and period accounting, which means there are opportunities to improvement to simple accounting education and the implementation of a more structured bookkeeping system that so that the financial information produced can be more reliable and useful for the business decision making. Next. So the chapter closing, the conclusion of this paper is Chandra Aluminum is as SME and Padang that they feel that accounting practice is still very simple and not all of them are in accordance with accounting theory. This expert might be able to help itself now, but we still need to improve the system to be competitive in market and to minimize risk of bankruptcy. The recommendation for CKA is to improve Chandra Karya Aluminum accounting training and education is necessary. There should be an overhaul from accounting aspect to educate how important it is to follow the accounting standard and its theory. The company can also change the bookkeeping method from manual to digital by using an easy to use and affordable accounting software, making the accounting more reliable. With this measure, MSME can improve their performance and competitiveness in an increasingly competitive market. Okay, that's all from me. It's back to moderator.
Okay, so thank you, Imam, for the explanation. So that's bring us to the end of our presentation. So the research, we have seen how Chandra Karya Aluminum, like many MSMEs out there, uses a very simple and manual financial system. While they don't fully apply formal accounting theory yet, there is a clear potential for improvement with the right support and tools. We hope that our study can give real benefit, not just academically, but also practically for the business owners. Thank you so much for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.